So hey, Josh Whitfield, founder of Signaliz. So let's just talk about how do you sign up for Signaliz? So let me walk you through that process. So first, you can hit try now for free, get started, whatever, right? If you're an existing user, just hit log in. But let's just hit get started. We'll just walk you through it from beginning to end here. So we can get started. If you're an existing account, you can just sign in. Otherwise, you're taking to sign up. You can fill this out manually, or if you have Gmail, you could just use Gmail. Now, we do not use or allow personal email addresses just because we've been through just a multitude of attacks with those disposable addresses. So you do need a Google Workspace account. If not, you can just manually enter it, right? So, but we'll just use Gmail because a lot of people have that or Google Workspace. And I'm going to hit Signaliz and it's going to go through the process here, right? And so boom, I got in. If I didn't have an account, which obviously I do, you would get an email from Signaliz here, and then you can just authorize it. It's pretty straightforward. Once you're in, you're going to see this setup. So let me walk you through the setup, first of all. So this is not an AI agent, right? I want to be clear on that, right? This is our representation of what we do, right? So we have unlimited signals, find emails, verify emails, and signal-based copy, and they can be called from Claude Code, ChatGPT, Codex Cursor, etc. Right? And you see all of that here, right? Remember, we have APIs, we have a CLI, we have SDK, and then an MCP, right? And that's it. So we're built to support you in Clay. We're built to support you soon and instantly on other platforms, but basically anywhere you can put an API in whatever, right? That's where we're built. So we've tried to convey that here to the best of our ability. When we say connect AI clients, that's what we're talking about: Claude Code, Claude, ChatGPT, Codex, etc. Right? So just walking you through that, how you do that is if you see right here, right? Like we go with a typical setup, which is your API MCP connection plus the API key. If you want to get more technical, we have NPM for the CLI and SDK, and then we have our API documents, right? Let me go into a different window here so I can show you that. So our API docs are here. We are on, as I mentioned, NPM, and so you can get that data here. Here's our MCP, CLI, and SDK server. Here are all of our APIs, right? And they're spelled out here on Postman. So if you're familiar with Postman, you can use that. You can copy it. Very easy to ingest our documentation into Claude Code or Codex, right? So back to Signaliz. Let's get in real quick here and just talk about how do we set, you know, a few of these things up, and we'll get into specific videos separately about Claude Code and Codex and some of the other tools as well. But here are our capabilities, and then we built what I think is a pretty straightforward how to set this up. This is a step-by-step process. So generate an API key. So if you click here, it'll take you to the settings menu, which is right here. And this is where you can create your API key, right? So if you hit create API key, you can name it. Let's just say ABC. And then if I hit create key, it will create the key, right? And there it is. I have it hidden, so it's not shared. And you can just copy that key, right? So that's the important thing I want you to remember. You have to create an API key, just like any other tool. But that will then be the vehicle. If you want to just use the API now, you have Postman, you have our API docs. You can just take it and use it with the API key. You can literally take that API key, put it in an envelope, use it in Cloud Code, use it in Codex, etc. Right. So that's the starting point. And then in subsequent videos, I'll go in and talk about like how do we connect it to Claude and show you how do we connect it to Codex, etc. So appreciate that. Just holler at us on the chat if you have any questions.